Whenever Eric's ready.
Whenever Eric's ready. Daddy Eric.
Oh, I need something.
No, we didn't say cheers and crack our beers or anything, Eric.
Cheers for the beers.
Oh yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
I'm gonna play it again. I'm gonna play it again.
All right, me and Johnny. Me and
Product
Johnny were
placement.
into that one. Movie Podium.
Sponsor is Chipotle.
Yeah, please. I'll eat all your meat.
Oh my god.
Double meat, you know.
That
Hang
came
on.
out
Yeah,
there.
thank you, Dave. I was gonna say it, but you got to before.
There it is.
There we go.
Jump right.
That was Matt.
Nothing like a 5 or 10 minute later.
I'll eat all their meat.
The judges are giving that a 5.9.
We said it again.
Yeah, refine that. All right, well, welcome
Somebody-
to the movies.
Moviepodium.net.
Somebody
Yeah.
make that a reel on Instagram so Matt never has to forget that he said that.
I get double
We'll put
meat.
Kevin on it.
Oh yeah, he'll get right on it. Welcome to the Movie Podium.
Where
a
is
weekly
Kevin?
podcast where we pick a movie to watch, and at the end of the week, we get together and talk about it. It's kind of like a book club.
But for movies.
But for movies.
But for movies.
We also came up with a set of questions to ask ourselves, such as, is this a podium film or a top 3 in the year of its respective release? I'm your host, Matt Scott, and I'm here with my dudes, Eric,
Hey, Matt.
Hi, Matt. Hi, Dave.
Dave,
Hey.
Daniel,
Ew.
and hello, John.
Hello, John.
Hello, John.
Hello, John.
Hello, John.
Hello, John.
That sound effect is so bad.
What do you mean bad?
It's just so quiet in comparison to all
quiet.
the other ones.
Yeah.
That's what I
is.
think. That's what makes it so good. Is because it's so subtly back
It's
there.
very subtle. All right, well,
Solemnly quiet.
this week's film was inspired by a sequel coming out 36 years after its original. And without further ado, we present our next movie.
He's no ordinary ghost.
You don't want his help.
Can you be scary?
What do you think of this?
Beetlejuice, where are you? Beetlejuice, where are you now?
Oh, you only said it twice.
So is it like
I hear
ready.
if we say
Beetlejuice.
someone's name that starts with a K so many times, he'll
Cooking
Beetlejuice.
with?
Beetlejuice? Where are you? We got some work to do now.
Or crickets with Kevin. Well, it feels
was
a
one.
little, it feels a little weird watching this not on Halloween. I don't know what you guys felt, but it was like daylight, and it was just kind of weird. When was the last time you guys have seen this movie?
I don't think of this as a Halloween movie. I don't know
Really?
why.
Yesterday.
Yeah,
been
I don't even think of it as a. I don't even think of it as a scary movie. I don't.
yeah.
Oh, it's definitely
like-
not scary.
Even watching it, I was like, "What fucking category is this?"
Spooky.
Like, 'cause it's not.
comedy.
Is it a comedy?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's a comedy.
It says horror on Max.
I mean, Beetlejuice is funny.
I think it's comedy.
There's some. Yeah, I mean, I guess there's some shit in there. But yeah, if I'm normally gonna watch this movie, it's around Halloween.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in so long, so it was cool to watch it again.
Would you say it's been a while?
It's been a while since I have
John,
watched Beetlejuice.
on the John scale, how many times did you watch this?
1.
Only one, John?
Oh, John watched it like 7 times.
John, how many times did you watch?
Give him a
John,
second.
John.
Give him a second, he's thinking.
Oh,
Does it take that long?
seven
Yes,
was
it does.
exaggerating. I'd say about 5. 4 or 5. I mean, it's debatable how much I paid attention to the whole start to finish of each time sitting down, but I pretty much just,
Oh, you got distracted.
It's
yeah,
on repeat.
precisely, yeah.
Entire
What happened
movies.
again?
What's the record? Christmas Story at 7 or something like that? I feel like it was
Oh my
Christmas
gosh.
Story.
Christmas Story was a lot.
He was still watching that one. When
So
we
is
were
it like
recording.
once we announce what movie we're watching, do you just like put it on repeat in the background, like so that way you're sure to catch all of it?
Yeah, I told Eric, like, especially if I'm unfamiliar with it, it's like, all right, I really need to get my head around this movie. But I didn't really need to do that for Beetlejuice, but yeah.
It's just an enjoyable movie.
See,
Yeah,
I
it's a
thought I was
comfort movie.
I thought
It
I
is.
was gonna be, because I've seen this movie a lot. I thought I was gonna be able to just do my notes and everything, like play it in the background while I built some Legos, and then I would went down to like really get into my notes, and I was like, I really don't remember the lines from this
Yeah.
movie. Like I actually got to go back and catch some of these lines. So I watched it twice.
Nice. I feel like John studies more for this than he did in high school. Except for Daniel takes more notes now than he did then.
That's true.
I
didn't start
just
taking notes
copied
till I was
Matt's
in
notes.
college.
Yeah. How many people copy my notes?
I did.
Quite a few. All right, let's get into some random ass facts. So this got a 7.5 on IMDb, or Thor.5. That's weird.
Thank you, Matt. Exactly, scale it to Thor now.
Wait,
Thank you.
John, did you come up with
Eric.
4.5?
No, Eric did. Eric got
Yeah.
the Thor. So Thor is the bar at 7. So then we plus or minus whatever we get.
Thor's the international
That's
standard.
perfect.
Thor 0.5 is a pretty respectable score.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
on the
alright.
Thor scale. It's not a Richter scale. It's a Thor scale at the movie Podium. All right. So as you can imagine, there's a lot of casting what ifs in this. Tim Burton's first choice for Beetlejuice was Sammy Davis Jr. Yes, the guy from the Rat Pack. What? Right.
Huh?
So why
Yeah.
wasn't he available?
We also had Sam Kinison. Do you guys know who that is? He's a
Oh,
70s, 80s
gosh.
comedian.
Yeah,
he's
Real,
like-
It's really loud.
Yeah, loud and
He yells
boisterous.
everything.
He was a choice. Thank God he didn't get it. And
What happened to
also, Dudley Moore was in the running as well.
I don't even know who that is.
I
Don't
don't
know.
know who that is.
He was in a
Dudley
movie called
Moore?
Alfie, which was a comedy from like the late 70s, I think. But he was a comedian or a comedy actor.
yeah.
But he wasn't very.
He's British.
Yeah. He wasn't
He's
very
British.
animated, though. Not animated
Wait, is he
enough.
British?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, he's English.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
So when they first started, those were the options, and Burton was actually unfamiliar with Keaton at the time of casting, and someone suggested him, and once Burton saw Keaton, he was quickly on board. It was a no-brainer. It's kind of like in it's kind of like Back to the Future when they casted Michael J. Fox after Eric Stoltz. It was like,
Yeah.
it just fit, right? It just made sense. And as we can tell, thank God, another perfect casting. There aren't too many, but this is definitely one of them. For Delia Dietz, we had Angelica Houston was the first option, but she got sick, and so they ended up going with Catherine O'Hare.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay with that too. I think Angelica Houston's too endearing, right? Every role she plays, it's maybe. I mean, she's the mom in Addams Family, and you still like her, even though she tries to be evil. You still kind of fall for her in that way.
Morticia.
Yeah. I could see
Angelica,
her in
or-
this role too, but
I just don't think she's unlikable.
yeah.
The way
O'Hara,
that she
I'm
plays
a
a
big
good.
mark for her though.
I think she was the right casting in this as well.
Yeah.
Then we had a ton of girls for Lydia. So this was a time when they had, a bunch of girls from that era playing darker roles. So you had Sarah Jessica Parker, Diane Lane, Jennifer Connelly, and Alyssa Milano. Well, now all of these girls end up being great actresses, and again, a lot of them were in darker roles. Like Sarah Jessica Parker was in Hocus Pocus. You have Alyssa Milano in Charmed. I mean, they all played that. I mean, similar to this movie, so it makes a lot of sense that they were all up for casting.
Yeah.
All right, now some interesting facts. Anyone want to
Because
guess?
those weren't.
Casting
Those
what
were
is?
random. These are interesting.
Oh,
Well-
okay. Sorry.
I always think of casting.
Those are
what
the
is.
ass facts. Here's the random fact.
All right, anyone want to guess how many times how long Beetlejuice was on screen
20
in
minutes.
time in minutes?
I want to say
Oh,
like 15 minutes.
Yeah,
How
it's not a
many
lot.
total minutes of movie are there?
It's
Like 90
well, it's an
97.
hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 20 minutes.
Whoever said 15 was close. It was 14. I mean,
Ooh, I
pretty
was
much
close.
on the dot. This also.
Yeah. There's
oh,
not a whole bunch of him.
no.
There's not.
No, there really isn't, and that's I
For
think
the titular
a good thing.
character, no siree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like every time he's on screen, he's so animated and there's so much energy there.
Yeah,
I
he
feel like
dominates.
I feel like if he wasn't, it wouldn't have the same punch, right?
Yeah.
Mhm. Right.
This actually won an Oscar. Can you believe that?
Art.
Best picture?
Close. Makeup.
Okay.
Best picture. Let's see, 88 was Rain Man.
Yeah.
Not Red Heat.
Not Red Heat. Red Heat ruined our 88 podium, so we are not doing
By
that
a
for
whisker.
podium, by the way. And the last one, how many times do you think the name Beetlejuice was said in this movie?
15.
8.
26.
12.
Daniel on the money.
Oh, 15.
15.
Nice.
15.
I've got two interesting facts of interesting randomness and ass.
All right, let's do it. That's all I had.
For one, there was a television program based off of this movie, which
Yep.
had a very different tone, with Beetlejuice being Lydia's like best friend.
Yeah.
But it was still pretty dark and funny.
great.
But it was not the same friendship. You know, it was a friendship. It was not.
Oh, yeah. No, this was totally a gross relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like their buddies. That I really enjoyed that cartoon when I was a kid.
Yeah, me too. I loved it, but it
Yeah, it
was
was-
not this movie.
Oh, yeah.
No. It was for kids.
Yeah.
A
And
lot of
then
this would
number
have gone
two,
over my head.
in the TV series Community, there is a bit where across 3 different seasons they say the name Beetlejuice, just in jokes and off-topic conversations. And the first 2 times nothing happens, and the third time it's during Halloween, and someone dressed as Beetlejuice walks through the back.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah, that's
so it's
awesome.
this really long form joke that they did for a payoff. That
That's
for
cool.
how often that show was about to be canceled, like that takes some guts to try a joke like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
that's great.
did it.
Oh, one other thing. Well, I saw a ton of stuff, but another thing that I thought was interesting or cool was Michael. This is Michael Keaton's favorite role.
Yeah.
Not
I
even
mean, that
Batman,
would make sense.
but this. Yeah, I think it makes sense too. All right, let's go to the questions. First question: favorite thing about the movie? All right, let's see. John, you ready?
Yeah. It'd be the setting, I guess, that they are retreating out to the country and trying to seclude themselves. And basically the whole vibe Catherine O'Hare, Delia falling asleep to wrestling in a cabin in the middle of nowhere, and Ghost trying to scare them, like, oh, we finally made it out of the city.
Nice. It's a very random one.
Yeah.
It is.
Nice. Eric?
My favorite was just like how the movie looks, how they filmed it, and like the color especially. Like they used color very well, and like the vibrancy, because it made it seem animated at a lot of times.
Yeah. I liked the grass was like, it looked like Legos, and like just the way that some of the setting was, that was pretty cool.
And like when Lydia's up at the door and they open the brick door and the green light spills out, like it's just like super ultra green light spilling on everything.
Yep.
And the way they also like used effects to like add dramatics to the things, like so whenever the people are working on the house and Lydia gets the key, and then there's that like fog or smoke from them removing the wallpaper as she like has the key to go upstairs and like that. I thought that like that stuff was cool.
That shot was awesome.
I like that too.
Yep. Daniel, what about you?
I have two. First, this is Tim Burton at its best, just doing a weird, but like okay for people. Like it's on the weird spectrum, but it's not all the way over here. Yep. It's just a little bit weird of center.
Well, this was this was his first one, right? So like.
No. Pee-wee's Big Adventure was his first one.
Okay.
Well, yeah. We'll get into that.
So, but I'm just like piggybacking like off of what Daniel was saying, and like it's just like that. Like he's just crossing over the weird. I think Pee-wee's Big Adventure was just way too weird for people, especially people that had never seen Pee-wee's Playhouse before and stuff like that. So, like I don't know. I guess I considered this Tim Burton's first because it was like what put him onto the mainstream, I think.
Yeah,
because it's like with what Daniel's saying, like it was just that he hit the cusp of weird but not too weird.
Oh, here's what I like to call it.
Daniel.
Hot topic spooky. Hot topic in every mall. You can go there and get your Nightmare Before Christmas gear, your spiky belts, your black shirts. But kids who come out of there are still like, okay, they're still people. They're not the super weirdos. The kids who go into Hot Topic are a little weird, but they're not the ones, twirling fire at an intersection and stuff like that.
Yeah, these were the kids that were listening to The Cure. They listened to The Cure and loved fucking Beetlejuice and Tim Burton movies,
or Edward Scissorhands and shit.
Yeah. Dan, did you have another one?
That was my second. I was going to talk about Hot Topic Spooky. Was my second.
Hot
Topic Spooky.
Before I hand it to you, Dave, since we're kind of talking about it already, I mean, I was in that same boat. I said that there's really no right or wrong answer here because it's such a good movie. It's weird, it's goofy, iconic. I struggled to come up with a specific answer, but I just pointed to it being original and a distinctive Tim Burton film. So as we kind of talked about, he just came off of Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and it is just different. It's really toned down in terms of his world. I mean, it's just it's America, right? He rides a bike to the Alamo, and it's just there's no setting. It's not a different world, or it doesn't feel like a Tim Burton movie. I do completely agree with that. This was like the first time him and Danny Elfman get to lean into it. So Danny Elfman actually did the Pee-wee's Big Adventure music or soundtrack, but it's not very weird either. So like this was the first time they were able to really lean into that quirkiness and, I mean, create the Tim Burton verse, right? So like this is the start of it all. So yeah, I kind of agree with you guys and what Daniel said. This is him at his best in terms of just mainstream appeal, but still putting his quirkiness into it. So yeah, that was mine. Dave, what was yours?
It's just a unique, fun, weird movie. Like, so I just like pointing out like parts of it that were just fun and funny to me. Barbara sleeping and then Adam rolls over and you find out she's floating and not actually in the bed. Barbara punching the sandworm whenever it first confronts them. When they start singing at the dinner table, and then Barbara riding the sandworm. Like, it was just so, like, Beetlejuice has all this fear of the sandworms, and Barbara just doesn't care.
It's one of my favorite bits, is him being afraid of the sandworm. Like, the whole sandworm thing is one of my favorite bits. All right, least favorite thing.
Can I go first on? Oh,
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I was going to bounce it back.
So as much as I like of all the colors, the way it was filmed, and everything about the movie, some of the special effects were god awful.
They're hilarious, for sure.
Like Michael. Like what Michael had, just my one example of it is Michael Keaton's head shrinking at the end of the movie, and you can just straight up see the line where it's cut off on the shoulders from the first shot, and then they do the next shot of like just making his head smaller. However they did that, like so just shit like that. Oh, and Otho, everything about that guy, I just fucking he sucks.
On the bad special effects, there's a scene where after Alec Baldwin does one of the scary faces, you can see in the background he's like faced or turned away from the camera, and there's a shadow, and it's him taking off his fake prosthetic nose.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay.
You can see it in the shot. Like, it's pretty ridiculous.
I'm gonna second the VFX.
Nice.
Like with Dave.
Interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. Daniel?
For me, it's Beetlejuice is a creep.
Yes, he is.
I knew somebody would
his
say
gimmick,
it.
but he's a creep. I haven't seen this in a long time, and I remember the TV show more than this movie. So just the amount of creep that Beetlejuice is was like, oh yeah.
They definitely cut out a lot of creep when they play this on TV.
Really?
Really?
I think so. I feel like there's a couple parts where I was like, I don't remember that on like when seeing this movie played on TV. And growing up, this movie was played on TV all the time.
All the time.
Yeah,
so
he tries to marry an underage girl.
Well, so the original way that was supposed to go had nothing to do with him being creepy. It's probably good that he ended up going that route, because the original Beetlejuice was supposed to be some Middle Eastern demon that kills the entire family and or tries to kill the entire family and actually burns Lydia. He doesn't want to marry her. He wants to kill her and burns her, and actually does kill her in the original script. And so they were like, yeah, this is kind of
let's
brutal.
rewrite that.
Let's just make him want to marry her or something. Which, okay, so my least favorite thing...
How do we lighten this up?
Well, yeah, exactly. And so my least favorite thing is actually him trying to marry her. And the reason mainly is, the creep stuff, but logically, why does he have to marry her? In terms of what sense does it make? I know why he's trying to, so he can get into the real world and just wreak havoc. But why is that the rule? And I'm nitpicking because it's Beetlejuice. He's some demon. What is he? Is he alive? Is he dead?
You just have
He's a bioexorcist.
Right. Exactly. So I would just nitpick that. Why does he have to marry her to be part of the real world? maybe it's because demons have to be attached to a human or something. I don't know, but they don't explain it, so I'm gonna pick on that. John?
Delia. Same idea as Daniel. Like, she's supposed to be one of the heels here, and she is a damn good one.
Yeah.
And also one you can laugh at too, because she's all like proud of her art, and then ultimately her agent's like, I've lost so much money on you, like we need to
You're a
we
flake.
need to capitalize on
Yeah.
this shit.
You've always been a flake.
Oh yeah,
So-
yeah. Manipulating her stepdaughter. She is just a shit heel.
So one thing that I didn't, and I've seen this a million times, and maybe I just forgot, I didn't realize that was her stepmom.
Yeah. Same. I thought it was just her mom.
I just assumed she was just weird, but now it makes sense why she's so depressed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Her mom died.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't put that together the last time I watched this.
My whole world is a dark room.
Hey, that's a great line.
Yeah, we're not doing that yet.
Oh, sorry.
But we are doing the next one. Who won the movie?
Your
Daniel?
winner.
Michael Keaton.
Yep.
Michael Keaton really blew up after this. I mean, he was a working actor before this, but this was one of those movies that shoots you up into a different level of stardom.
Yeah.
You can't even
100%.
really tell.
Shoot
it's
it
a-
up, baby.
Yeah, 100% agree. John?
Yeah, you killed it. I was gonna say Burton because in a similar way, he sort of capitalized on this, catapulted, and got to do, got a whole lot more work, as a
Absolutely.
result
Got to
of
do
this.
Batman,
Yeah. Him
That's
and
not
Keaton,
a small
right?
picture.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%
Just a
agree.
couple of them Batman movies.
Yeah, seriously. Dave?
Yeah, I said Tim Burton, Michael Keaton. Take your pick.
Yep. Eric?
I said Lydia because
I know you're going with this.
yeah, because she got ghost friends
Mm-hmm.
and she got to be closer to her stepmom, and it seemed like everything turned out well. and
Oh my god.
and she didn't have to marry Beetlejuice.
Yep.
Eric went within the movie. I
Right.
usually go within the movie, but I did not this time.
So, and I usually go with or outside of the movie, and this time I went in the movie or within the movie. I said everyone but Beetlejuice. So
Yeah.
Lydia gets a family that cares for her, right? So like, you have the Maitlands who, they die tragically and accidentally, and that's sad. However, they were trying to have kids and could not have kids. So this was like the weirdest roundabout way of having a kid.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
ended up with Lydia, who's a great student and a good girl, and like that all happens. They get to stay in their house with a sense of relief because they've somehow made up with the Dietz, and so everybody lives in one happy house. Because you get her dad saying, "Well, Lydia must have got an A on her math test." Like,
Yeah.
that whole thing was really cool to see. I love how they end this movie. It's a dark movie, kind of, but at the same time, it ends happy. And then you get the epilogue at the end, which actually was not in the original script. But thank God they put Beetlejuice in there shrinking his head. While it might look bad, it's one of the funniest parts of the movie. And so I said everybody but Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
All right. Next one, we've got some good ones here. Favorite line from the movie. Dave, what was your favorite line?
Fuck, I didn't think you were gonna go with me first.
I'll go.
All right,
All right, yeah. Go ahead, Eric.
My whole life is a dark room. One
Oh my
big
God.
whole dark room. John
one.
started to
Sorry.
say it earlier, and I was
so
about to
sorry.
fucking smack him upside the head.
We gotta.
All right, I'm ready.
All right, Dave.
Spoiler strikes again.
I got
I'm
demons
sorry.
running through me.
Daniel.
Live people ignore the strange and unusual. And
Yeah.
I am the strange and unusual.
Nice. John.
All right, I want to get this exactly right. I'm here with you. I will live with you in this hellhole, but I must express myself. If you don't let me gut this house and make it my own, I will go insane and I will take you with me.
Nice delivery there,
beautiful.
Johnny.
That was good delivery.
That was very good.
Thank you.
I'll go with, and I kind of want to tell a story about it. And it is one of my favorite lines, but it's nice fucking model. Now,
Yes.
the story behind it. Originally, the tree was not supposed to fall down when Keaton kicks it. When it actually does fall, Keaton improvises that line and says, nice fucking model. He's not
Oh my
even
God.
delivering that as a line. He's actually talking to the set designer because he messed up. And Tim Burton heard it and thought it was the funniest thing, the most ridiculous thing that somebody would say to somebody, that he kept it in there.
It's
Yeah,
a
that
good
is
line,
so-
and it
so
doesn't
good.
really make it does like. It doesn't really make much sense at
No.
the time when he says it. But then
He's
you
just
like
supposed to
think
kick the
about
tree.
it for a minute and you're like, is he talking to Adam? Like making fun of his
Yeah.
model? Like
So he was talking to the set designer in real life.
I said, what's great is that they have that scene where Adam puts the tree back up after Beetlejuice kicks
Oh,
it
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. What you were saying, John?
Oh, like when he delivers that line, nice fucking model, he also grabs his package and there's like
Yeah.
a bike horn.
The honk?
Sound effect just
That was definitely
sent me over the
Yeah.
top.
Handbook for the recently diseased?
Yes.
Dun dun.
I mean,
Deceased.
there's got to be a good impression, right?
I love whenever Beetlejuice he's like, so come on down, I'll chew on a dog.
There it is. I was going to do I'm the ghost with the most. Which is horrible.
What
Oh, there's so many good
whenever
ones.
he's like he's trying to get him to come up to his grave, he's like, come on up, I'll fix you something to eat. I hope you like Italian.
He's like, you want some nom noms or some? He's got the Zagnut candy bar.
John, I thought you would say, if you act now, you get a free demon possession with every exorcism. For some reason, I thought you were on that one.
When they're trying to scare Delia and Lydia says, you can't scare her. She's sleeping with Prince Valium tonight.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah.
We also, of course, have It's Showtime.
Yep.
And the other big one is, go ahead, make my millennium. One other one that I wanted to talk about that's not a Beetlejuice line is when they're in the like afterworld and they're with their caseworker, and you have the guy who got ran over by some heavy machinery or whatever happened to him, and he's like, "Thanks, I've been feeling a little flat."
Yeah.
I laughed out loud. I don't remember that guy at all.
Yeah.
Like, that was hysterical to me. Like, it was so minute, but
So one thing that I thought mind blown moment today, because Julie and I watched it, and she said that she noticed that what is it, Otho?
Otho.
Otho. He says like, if you commit suicide, you become a civil servant, and all of the people that are in the office.
Oh yeah, they are.
like,
I
have
haven't
committed
put it
suicide.
together until now, but holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, I did
Yeah,
not.
'cause-
You just blew my mind.
There was
If
no
I would have
censor
known
of
that
wrists.
before I know
He's got
what I
this
know
slice-
now, I
the
wouldn't
slashes
have had
across
an
the-
Yeah.
accident.
Yeah, no,
Wow.
now it all makes sense why she says that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's so many things like that make this
Otho is
movie so
stuck on
good.
it.
Yeah.
It's like Tim Burton's able to like twist all these things around that like we're just now realizing, when we're in our mid-30s talking about it. Holy
I've
shit.
never made that connection.
No.
And Julie said that, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, I mean,
That's pretty
remembering
mind-blowing.
this watching.
What have you
But
done
I
to
just
me?
figured everyone knew that, and I just didn't pay attention enough. So I didn't bring it up. I was like, yeah, everyone knows that. I don't need to say anything and make myself look like a dummy. And now y'all are like, yeah! And I can
crazy.
support.
That's
I'll
crazy.
take the chance and make myself look like a dummy.
Oh,
That's nuts. All right, next category. Favorite song moment or score scene? There's only a few, or you could do the
They
Elfman
fucking love
stuff.
Harry Belafonte in this movie.
So do I. Daniel? I mean,
This theme.
the theme. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's also amazing. It's so good.
Yeah,
And it's
great.
like, again, the first time Elfman gets to be Elfman with Burton. It's just that combo. Boom. There it is.
Yeah, it's great. No notes.
Yep. No, you don't need notes for that. Eric?
Banana boat when
Yeah.
they were possessed at the dinner table.
That
It's-
one's mine.
It's pretty
Yeah.
much, I mean, it's probably the most iconic scene in the entire movie.
Yeah,
And it was
absolutely.
almost cut. And it's, thankfully, they didn't cut it. He
Yeah.
just said it didn't make a lot of sense, which is also true. But that's that's not necessarily what makes a movie good or not. I mean, we're talking about Beetlejuice. Who's
yeah, a lot of
Bioexorcist. None of
there
it
was
makes
a lot
sense.
of logic sort of bypassed.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
I think makes sense.
Yeah.
If you were to do this in a normal movie, then it'd be like, okay, that doesn't add up.
Yeah.
I also wanted to talk about the other Harry Belafonte song with "Jump in the Line."
Yeah.
That song goes pretty hard too at the end.
Yes, it does.
I'm a big Harry Belafonte fan with those songs, and
I
the
believe you.
the Muppet episode where he's in it is one of my favorite Muppet episodes. Him,
You said Muppet 3 times.
Here comes
They're
Kermit.
here.
here's Belafonte. That'd be better. I want to listen to that. All right.
Belafonte,
Did we
Belafonte.
miss anything? I mean, those are the 3 songs, basically. The theme and
Well,
the
I
Harry
would
Belafonte.
just say a sort of the music aiding a joke where I think it was Dave said earlier, handbook for the recently diseased. Bum, bum. And she corrects him, deceased. And then the music repeats the bum, bum.
Yeah, definitely a comedy. Well, this will be an easy one. Does it get made now?
Absolutely.
It's gonna get made into a sequel in about
Who else
a month.
Who else is coming? Is it all the cast returning?
I believe so.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I haven't
I
looked into it.
believe
I haven't watched the
so.
trailer. I'm just gonna go in blind.
Yeah, that's
Me
what I
too.
was doing.
I did see a trailer, and he is looking ridiculous. I mean, like, he's gonna lean into it, whether it's gonna be good or bad.
I haven't seen a trailer or nothing.
Trailer's pretty wild. I mean,
I saw the only trailer I saw was like just a quick one where like it showed him dressed up as Beetlejuice and he said the juice is loose.
yeah.
And then that was it.
Oh my god, I cannot wait to at least see what they do with it. Not,
Is that
I'm
a reference to
excited that it's gonna
O.J.
be
Simpson?
good. No, well, hard to
Too
say,
soon.
but he said it in the 80s.
Too soon. I think it's been long enough, and
Oh,
he's
okay.
dead.
He gone. All right.
Gone.
Anything else
He's
about
loose,
the
so
new
to
one?
speak.
I mean, they're gonna make this, and I think it's
Yeah.
pretty
Now,
easy
and
answer.
even if the first one hadn't been made, Burton has enough cred that he would be able to get it made now. So
Yeah. I just like.
either
again,
way,
kinda-
it's a yes.
Yeah, I agree. kind of like the same conversation of Back to the Future. I think if it were made, I just can't see anybody but Michael Keaton being at that age and at that role at that time. Like, it was just perfect in terms of him being able to blast off into, you know, the universe of being a star after this. And I just can't picture anybody else doing it. Just like Michael J. Fox. I think it would get made, but I just don't think it would be the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's not one of those where you hang your hat on the theme or the plot. It's made because of the director and the actors, and like it's a movie for, you know.
We need another movie to complete the story.
Yeah, apparently. Which, you know, there's going to be 3, since the title is Beetlejuice. There's got to be a third one now.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Anyways,
Oh boy.
next category. Most rewatchable scene.
Dale. He said Dale.
Daylight come and me won't go home. John.
The scene where I think they first try and go scare, they're like, all right. They get back from their meeting with the caseworker. They're like, we can take care of this ourselves. And they they put on the sheets and they moan. It's the whole sequence is funny. They're like, no, moan louder. Poor Lydia thinks they're like screwing, and then, you know,
Oh yeah, that's a funny line.
Catherine O'Hara's passed out to wrestling with Prince Valium.
Nice.
And that's before everything just goes horribly wrong. So, I don't know. I just thought that was a fun one. One of my favorite scenes in the movie.
That's a good scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Dave?
Beetlejuice's commercial. I can watch that. I can watch that on. I can watch that on repeat all day long. Like, that shit is so funny. Come on down, I'll chew on a dog.
It's so good.
I can't remember what else he rattles off, like towards the end of that commercial, but he rattles off all this shit at the end. And, it's so
like
good.
Rambles,
Why is he a cowboy?
Yeah.
Everybody's got a gimmick, David.
It's true.
Daniel already did his.
Oh yeah, Deo. I guess I just forgot because it was so fast.
Yeah.
What's Eric's?
Mine is when Beetlejuice rises up and he's the carnival attraction with the long arms, and he hits his arm hammers and blasts the people off through the ceiling.
Yeah.
He also
Robert
has bat
Goulet
ears.
and his
Or wings.
date.
He also has bat wings, which is a interesting choice because he was Batman the next year. I said
spooky.
I had a few. Obviously, the Deo scene. That goes without saying. I also said the first time they go into the afterworld, as I kind of mentioned, that whole scene is really cool. Like, seeing the different how people died and how they're that way, and just the uniqueness of that I thought was really interesting. You get the clueless football players in there. Coach, like,
I don't think we made it.
yeah, I
along
love
with that too, the Maitlands, when they finally figure out they're dead, that was one of my
That's a good one.
alternate likes, is like how slow the dead people are to realize they're dead.
Yeah.
Like the last ones to figure it out.
Yep. And then I also said, you know, the first time they meet him and he does the nice fucking model. That whole sequence, like them realizing he's a scumbag, is so good too. I mean, any interaction with Beetlejuice, again, he's only on there for 14 minutes, so you could rewatch that entire thing.
Yeah.
Later, who would have a Nickelodeon animated show?
Yeah, that's so weird to me. Well, let's go to most likely to be off-screen drunk.
It's Kevin.
It's like, what's
I had to do it
what's
last
gonna
week
happen?
for you, David.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
It was good.
Because
Where is
the
Kevin?
important thing about it is that you pause, so you build the
You gotta wait.
anticipation.
For
You gotta
sure.
keep people on their toes.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing.
Because
Chef's kiss.
you might think it was Beetlejuice. You might think he was the off-screen drunk, but no. It's Kevin.
John.
Oh, I got a top 5.
Oh, all right, let's do it.
Wow, wow, wow.
All right, there's not a lot of these, okay? I want you to think about that. There's not a lot of these. I mean, maybe there are, but not a lot of instances of these. Sandworms.
Oh.
Top 5 sandworms. There's not a lot.
Okay.
I found
not.
5.
God willing,
I found-
we keep
I
those
found,
sandworms.
I found 5,
down.
and the
Curious.
the number 5 I couldn't remember. The sandworms from The Hobbit. Do you guys remember sandworms in the Hobbit movies? Because I don't.
I didn't watch the
But it
Hobbit
happens.
movie,
I
but I
didn't
don't
watch
remember it in
happens.
the book.
It happens. There's some sandworms.
Is it only in the movies?
I don't know, Daniel. I'm counting it though, because it was hard. Number 4, Tremors, the
I knew
Tremor
that was
sandworms.
Hell yeah.
Them damn Tremors again.
Whatever
Nasty
they call
fuckers. That's why they're number 4. You can't do anything with these. Number 3, the Beetlejuice sandworm, because that was like
3.
that- yeah. I mean, you'll figure out why
Well,
that's
I know
number
what
3.
else-
Okay.
Animated. Barbara rides it. Pretty cool. number 2 are the Dune sandworms. Again, the Dune sandworms are a lot cooler because it gave that guy, they gave the dude the special powers by drinking the blood. It gave the chick the special powers, then the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
I don't
the
know.
fuck
Was
are
it
you talking about?
blood?
Dude, Dune's some weird shit, man. But they also ride the sandworms. So number 2.
I'm
Okay.
curious. What's number 1?
Number 1's the Sarlacc pit, nerd.
Fuck yeah, it is.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, what the fuck?
I figured it was
See that
like-
coming? Come on.
Sarlacc pit
whatever.
from Star Wars. You fucking nerd. How do you not
Never
know
heard of
that,
it.
nerd?
Yeah, that's my top 5. Still not.
Nice.
I'm not convinced on the Hobbit one, but I did. I was like, sandworms. Yeah, I've seen them in a bunch of different things. Nope, I was wrong. Tremors, Dune, Star Wars.
All right,
I even
we
for-
can put Tremors and Tremors.
Tremors 2.
3.
Yeah, there's like a million Tremors
I couldn't
movies.
count each one.
You're not Kevin.
It's roll, not movie.
Yeah.
The sandworms roll. Shout out to my neighbor who has a sandworm. Like,
Hey,
you know how they do the inflatables? And a lot of people around my neighborhood do it on Halloween or
That's
in
hilarious.
that time. And someone has a sandworm and it like goes back and forth.
That's
It's awesome.
fucking awesome.
I was
It
thinking
is.
of bucket.
You suppose Beetlejuice is gonna be a hot Halloween costume after the new movie comes out?
Oh, every dad.
John would
Which is great.
buck the
Yeah.
sandworm bucket.
I'd rather be Michael Keaton in Mr. Mom for Halloween.
So back to who was the off-screen drunk? I said the Maitland's. Oh yeah, the Maitland's caseworker because of how shitty of a job that would be.
Juno. Yeah.
Juno. She's great, by the way, in this.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
Did you
I
know
said
her name?
Beetlejuice.
Yeah, Beetlejuice.
I said Catherine O'Hare.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
She's a lush for sure.
Starving artist.
Yeah. Miserable in the country, moved away from New York.
Nothing else to do.
I said
It's
Charles.
they're in
Heath.
Connecticut, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah,
I didn't- I
Winter
never knew.
River,
Yeah.
Connecticut.
Yeah, I never knew that they said the place. I figured with it being Tim Burton, it was just like this imaginary like existence
Made
in
up
the
Bill,
multiverse.
Way out in BFE, Connecticut.
Well, with that, we will now cast our friends. Oh. Daniel, quick to raise your hand, buddy. Let's go.
All right, for Charles, I have Kelv, because he just wants peace and quiet. He just wants to sit there and read. Well, not read.
Peace and quiet.
I'm not 100%
Amen.
sure Kevin can read. But he would like to sit there and drink beer and look at the woods.
Can't keep his mind off work.
type.
What's the equivalent to bird watching that Kevin likes to do?
Deer watching?
I don't
Let's
know.
take lots
Watching?
of pictures of deer.
Yeah.
Can't you see I'm in here relaxing? I said the same as Daniel for that casting because Kevin can't keep his mind off work. Like Charles is like, all right, I found a way to make money while I'm up here relaxing.
John, it's Daniel's
Awesome.
turn.
Sorry.
That's pretty good, though.
For Adam, I have Dave, because Dave loves building miniatures.
Shit, that's good.
Yeah.
For Barbara, I also have Dave, because hot.
Okay.
For Lydia, I have teenaged me, because I wore mostly black and was super depressing to be around.
I was gonna say it could have been any of us on that. The Lydia teenage. I thought of me too.
You just don't get me.
Dark.
And then for
I am strange
Beetlejuice,
and unusual.
Yeah.
Oh, Daniel,
for
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice, I have Cody, because he says some out of pocket shit.
Yeah.
Nice. I'll go next. I said, well, first I also said Cody for Beetlejuice. Because I said, let's face it, he's doing the dirty work. I said Otho was Brad because if I want to talk to the dead, I'm probably talking to Brad. I had. I'll go with okay. So I had Eric and Julie as the Maitlands because they're too nice to try to actually scare people and would probably whip out and put sheets on, and scare people away from their small town house, and they'd probably be the ones that would adopt a troubled girl. You guys are the nice couple.
Oh yeah.
And then I had Daniel as the sandworm because he's the real heel of this movie. Couldn't help.
No,
I don't know, that
the real
sandwich
heel.
doesn't try
The
to marry
real
an
heel
underage
of this
girl.
movie is the dog,
That's true.
and I wanted to ask Eric how he felt about the dog being the real heel of this movie.
You leave him out of this.
I felt that he kind of did them dirty, but I'm very glad that he's alive.
The dog looked Alec Baldwin in the eyes and was like,
Yeah.
you die
Bye.
now.
That helps my casting then. That is Eric as Alec Baldwin. That would be Eric's reaction to that whole scenario.
Please.
I know.
Oh, well, at least the dog cried, bud.
Yeah, that's perfect. John?
That's funny. Like I had Matt and Eric as Adam and Barbara, but they could reverse basically because they'd have their heads in the handbook, figuring things out. They're like, all right, this is what we need to do. Daniel's Beetlejuice because he could, play the heel. I've got Dave as Robert Goulet, the handsome man from New York who you want to call up when you've got a good idea.
Robert Goulet. I shout out to him for being this. It's great.
And then I had Kevin can be Lydia's dad for reasons previously mentioned. How he's reading like Practical Handyman in his study and, can't keep his mind off work. Or Kevin could play Lydia just because he's the baby we always joke, and Lydia's the youngest character, so he just needs to play her. It'd be funny to see him as a goth girl in a dress, too.
Yeah.
Nice. Dave?
I didn't cast anybody.
Dave said, fuck this.
I'll be honest.
All right, Eric. What do you got?
I got a few. So I also said Dave is Adam, and I said because he collects Legos, and that's kind of the same vibe as miniatures.
That's
So,
funny.
yeah.
Team Danrick.
I said Kevin. Yep, exactly. I said Kevin is Charles' boss because he doesn't want to leave work and go to Connecticut.
Ah. Good one.
And then
Robert
I said,
Goulet.
yeah, I said John is Charles because I can see him just wanting to like move out to the country and relax. And then also like starting to birdwatch, but then like looking at other people's roofs and saying like, oh, that's a bad roof, but good parking. That seems like John.
Yep. 100%.
And then Daniel is Otho because I can see Daniel stealing the book and like just being all gung-ho, like talking a big game, like, oh, this is going to be fucking sick. And then like when shit starts to go, he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't do anything. And then he just runs away.
Yeah, my control, man.
He bails on it as soon as it goes wrong.
Let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story. In 8th grade, I decided it would be funny every Friday to moon the buses as they came down off the middle school.
Yep.
Well, one fateful day, while I was pulling my pants up, a car who was following the bus pulled off to the side of the road. Well, as soon as I saw that, I went running as fast as anyone has ever seen me run. I just ran down through the college and up the stairs and was gone. And a teenager who was driving the car came running over and screamed into the void, "I'm going to kick your ass wherever you are."
Oh, do you remember his name? Brian. Wasn't it Brian something?
Oh, I don't remember.
Brian.
No.
Something. Oh, I wish I could remember it. That was
I'm going to kick your ass wherever you are.
You
So
show me that
you know
ass
how
again.
right you are.
It's kid.
I think
Yeah,
it's
you're
hilarious
totally
to
right.
cars, but I do not want to face the consequences of it.
I bet you hurdled some like handrails and stuff on your way out. Did an escape roll.
I don't remember. I just came to and I was like a block away in the like walkway of Marietta College campus.
To round out my casting, I don't think I can follow that, but I said that I'm the guy in the waiting room with the small head and like the terrifying eyes, because like in public I'm just like, oh my god, what the hell am I doing out in public? Those are my castings.
nice. Well done. Awesome.
It's not because you're an avid hunter that got caught by some shaman and got his head shot.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right.
Your head is perfectly proportioned to your body. You're very handsome.
I also that guy didn't talk and I wouldn't talk.
You're
Yeah,
also
somebody's
not as hot
in-
as David, though. I mean, David is just so hot.
And Beetlejuice stole his number or whatever, his ticket number.
Yeah.
That was so
Number
good.
4 or
Yeah.
something.
Oh, look,
Looks like I'm up next.
Yeah. So good. Okay, 2 more. We got our
Wait,
podium.
I'm sorry, hang on. What is it he says to... He's like, look over there, it's Elvis!
Oh yeah, that's as good as it. Yeah.
What are you doing, King?
Why would they even look like they knew Elvis was?
Yeah, I'm like man from the jungle.
All right, we got our 2 podium moments or podium questions. First, we got: is this a podium role for any of the top billed cast members? Oh, funky.
The
Yeah,
hell
that was.
that?
I didn't. I forgot to
Funky
rewind
beat.
it. I forgot. To rewind
You
Now we
have
get
to rewind
funky.
it.
I mean,
I
yeah,
like the way you
reset it.
tickled me with
Maybe
that.
you did. Why didn't you put it in the rewinder?
I don't know.
The VHS.
Remember those?
Wow.
Yes, I do.
Oh, yeah.
If you
I gotta-
said that to a kid, they would go, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Dude, I thought the same thing when they said something about thank you for shopping at Kmart or something. And like kids these days wouldn't know what
They're not gonna know what
is.
Kmart is. Blue light special.
Yeah, blue light special, that's it.
Blue light special. Oh my god.
They didn't even
All
have
right,
blue
well,
light specials when Kmart was still around.
Yeah,
Right.
That's
yeah.
not-
He says
Like
Kmart
95.
special. He says
Right.
Kmart special. He doesn't say blue light.
It's hilarious. Blue light. All right. Well, first up, obviously, we have Michael Keaton. Does everybody think this is a podium role for Michael Keaton?
Yes.
I said for me, yes. Maybe not for people that have seen some of his other movies. I mean, according to IMDb, this isn't even on there for what he's known for.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'll look at it again, but for me,
I'm starting
yes.
to question the source of IMDb a little bit.
Well, I'd say yes.
just
but
kidding.
some other
It's almost
ones-
like those lists don't make any fucking sense and don't matter.
Very fair.
I love him in The Founder.
Yeah,
Ray
I was gonna
Kroc.
say the founder. I figured somebody might say. I mean, I
So
I
for
agree.
him-
I said yes.
For him, what's listed as known for? Birdman from 2014,
Yeah.
Spotlight from 2015,
Oh.
The Founder from 2016,
Spotlight
and then
was
Batman from 89.
Wow.
I think so. I don't.
I've seen
disagree
one
with
of
why
those.
they're saying that. Yeah. But
Spotlight
I think
and
it's
Founder were both good.
yeah they were. I mean, he's really really good in the Founder.
Yeah.
Spotlight is decent and he's not bad, but he kills his Ray Kroc in the Founder. I actually said this obviously, and then Batman, of course. He was the first Batman. I mean, in this world at least, or in our for our generation. And then I said Ray Kroc actually, like for me. Now I think Birdman was his only his only nominated role for Best Actor was Birdman. And that was like his comeback story. He hadn't been a big actor in a while. He comes back and does that, and then he gets all this Oscar talk, and then after that he does The Founder, he does all these other movies that we're just talking about, Spotlight. So you could have a really good argument for Birdman, but I was lukewarm on that movie.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I thought
not
the whole
great.
like one shot thing made it even more aggravating for me.
It was okay.
I watched.
I liked him. I liked him as Vulture in Spider-Man: Homecoming.
And he's also the voice of Chick Hicks in the Cars movies, for those Cars fans.
I watched Spotlight and the big, whatever that movie was.
The Big Short.
Short, yeah. Back
Yeah.
to back.
Big Short's
And
good.
those two movies, you want to get into a place where you want to burn everything down, that will put you. You watch those two movies back to back,
Yeah,
you will
I can
try
see
and
that.
burn down, and just scream anarchy at the top of your lungs.
I can see that.
Just scream, "I'm gonna kick your ass wherever you are," at the top of your lungs.
So yeah, I just think for him this is a yes, mainly because it was the beginning of his career. Now again, he was in Mr. Mom and some safe TV shows, but this really let him do his own thing. And then after that, he's done so many different things. And again, this is such an iconic role that it's really hard to say it wouldn't be.
I agree. Yes.
Next,
True.
we got Alec Baldwin.
No.
I said no.
I said yes.
I said yes just because I haven't seen any of this other shit. I
That's
liked him
fair.
I liked him in The Departed.
Oh, he's great.
That character in The
Yeah.
Departed was good.
Yeah.
Glenn Ross.
So
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, he's in one scene of that movie.
Yeah.
Right.
But
But
what
he's
scene
awesome
do you
in it.
remember from that movie?
Exactly.
Always be closing.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I said no. He's also in It's Complicated, which I didn't see, but I know a lot of people have it in high regard. It's a middle-aged divorce story, whatever. I don't know.
Sounds
Not our
right
cup
up
of
my
tea.
alley.
He was in Hunt for Red October.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was going to mention.
Oh,
that.
he was-
That
he's
sounds
in
right
that?
up Kevin's
Yeah,
alley.
he's Jack Ryan in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's been forever since I've seen that movie, so
It's been forever since that movie's come out.
Isn't he? He's in the shadow, or is it?
Yeah,
The
he's
Shadow?
some CIA,
Shadow.
FBI
Yeah, he's the
guy, and
Shadow.
he's
He's the
like,
main
I've
character.
studied
Yeah.
this Russian general for years.
Yeah, I saw that when I was a kid,
Who's-
and yeah,
It's a good.
It's all right.
Yeah, he's trying to defect. It's fine. Sean Connery, Tim Curry's in it. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So-
me and Kevin would eat that shit up.
So Alec Baldwin, maybe yes, maybe no. What about Gina Davis?
I said
No.
yes for her too.
I said yes.
I
Yeah, I said yes.
I said no. Thelma and Louise, A League
Yeah.
of Their Own,
Yeah,
and
those
The
are my other
Fly.
two.
The Fly.
Oh,
Okay, yeah.
interesting.
Okay, yeah.
So she definitely was most popular in the late '80s, early *90s, and I couldn't agree more with Thelma and Louise. And A League of Her Own is her movie, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
Tom Hanks is the one quote that everybody talks about, but she's so good. And I think of A League of Her Own, or I think of her. Then
Yeah.
Tom-
It's her
Yeah,
story.
she's like
Yeah.
the
He's
main
just
It's her
character.
one of
story.
the characters
Exactly.
in her story.
Correct. Absolutely. And I didn't think about The Fly though. That's a good argument. I said yes just because I like this more than The Fly, but she's more in. Yeah, it's tough. Good answer though. And then last one I had was Winona Ryder.
Yes.
Yeah,
I said yes.
I said yes.
I said it was the hardest for me. I said yes. She's been a main character in a lot more movies than Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin. Like, she was a main character for a long time. And I ended up saying this and Edward Scissorhands. I think Edward Scissorhands is a better role for her than this one. Like, a bigger and better role. Like, there's more
Yeah.
to like with her in that one. And then I also, for personal reasons, said Reality Bites because I'm a sucker for that movie, and she's awesome in that. But I could see Girl Interrupted. I could see Mr. Deeds being on there. I could see Heathers. Heathers is a really popular movie that she was in the 80s that everybody loves. She's, she's been in so much that you could say yes or no, and on this one as well, I believe.
Yeah.
She's one of my favorites, or was when I was a kid. I mean, and now obviously she's awesome in Stranger Things, so cool
Yeah.
to see her still kicking and doing well. All right. Any other people you had? I didn't really.
Oh,
think
Catherine O'Hara. Did
Okay,
anyone
that was
mention her?
curious. No, I mean I think this is on her list.
Yeah,
Or no, maybe not for John because
it's hard
Home Alone.
because I love her in so many things that aren't popular.
right.
Her number one's definitely is Kevin McAllister's mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then probably
Yeah.
Best in Show would be my second, right?
Yeah. Shoot, there's this, and yeah, she's just been around and done so much. She's done, Best in Show and all those other movies just like it.
Yeah, the Christopher Guest movies.
Mhm.
She also did a Capital One commercial with Kevin Hart.
That's on
That's
its way,
real
for
art,
sure.
baby.
All right, well, last one. Since Red Heat ruined our podium for the year of 1988, I won't let anybody forget that. We will now end this one with, does this podium on our list of Tim Burton movies?
I say yes.
Okay, give it to us.
Elaborate.
Oh, okay. You want my podium? You want
Yeah,
my
we
podium,
know.
buddy?
Always. We always want your podium.
My number
It's Roll My Movie.
3 Tim Burton movie is Batman. My number 2 is Nightmare Before Christmas, and the tip of my podium is Beetlejuice.
Hell
Nice.
yeah.
I only went with directed by, not produced.
I
Yeah.
went directed by also.
Same. Nightmare Before Christmas didn't make it, yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
But-
Okay.
You do you.
Yeah,
It's okay,
we're
John.
not hating. I'm just saying
It's
that
still a Tim Burton
that's why-
movie. Let's
yeah,
be
It's a Tim
honest.
Burton
Yeah.
movie.
yeah, that's
He just
why
wasn't
it's
the
just
director.
not on my list. That's all I was
Okay.
clarifying, John.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to dog you. I was just saying like that would be on my list, but I just went with straight direct.
Come on down, chew you like a dog.
I'm with you. Dave?
Number 3 is Edward Scissorhands. Number 2 is Beetlejuice. Number 1's Batman.
Nice.
Batman.
Batman.
Oh yeah, Batman.
Batman
89.
89.
Daniel.
Daniel.
Oh,
Daniel.
it's my turn. Sorry.
Daniel.
For
Daniel.
number 3, I have Mars Attacks.
Yeah.
For
Glad
number
someone
2,
did it.
I have Sweeney Todd. And for number 1, I have Batman. 89. Not Returns.
Batman.
His
Lots of
Returns
Batman
sucks.
fans
So question.
Batman.
Okay, wait a minute. Don't go that far.
here.
Question. Did you make this list? Well, we just talked about it. So you made this list after you just watched Batman, correct?
Correct.
Oh, interesting. Eric?
This does not make my podium list. My podium goes as follows. Number 3 is Batman. Number 2 is Nightmare Before Christmas. It's on my list as well. And then number 1 is Mars Attacks.
I knew.
Mars Attacks, baby.
Wow.
I was
So I'll break-
devastated to leave Mars Attacks off my podium, but I had
Yeah.
to.
I get it.
So I'll break the tie. This was on my podium. So we got 3-2 on the
Okay.
podium. My number 3 is Edward Scissorhands. My number 2 is Big Fish. And my number 1 is Beetlejuice.
Nice.
Makes sense.
Beetlejuice.
Makes sense.
Now, I
Very
haven't
good.
watched Batman in a little bit. And I'm going to maybe after we get off of here, I might watch it. So maybe that'll change. But I absolutely loved Big Fish growing up. And that one always, I don't know, that one always got me.
Yeah, Danny
as I
DeVito's in that.
explained earlier with Beetlejuice, it was the TV show that resonated more with me than the movie because I
Sure.
watched the
Yeah.
TV show a lot more than the movie. So,
Yep.
because I didn't have this on VHS or anything like that, I would only be able to catch this at someone else's house or when it was on TV.
Syndicated,
where
yeah.
the animated series was on Nick all the time. So
Yeah.
it's one
Yeah.
of those things where my nostalgia to Beetlejuice goes to the show, not the movie.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
We're in a weird demographic where we actually grew up with the cartoon. Like, because a lot of people who love this movie were older, right? And saw this in
Right.
theaters or
Yeah.
did not grow up with the cartoon. And then there's the younger crowd who don't even know what the cartoon is. So, like, we're in that, like, weird sweet spot. So that is interesting you say that. All right. Well,
Is that it?
that is it.
Oh man, we did another one, guys.
We made it to the end.
We did it in the hotel room. Woo. All right. Well,
Gross.
thanks for tuning into the podcast. Check out the moviepodium.net for cool gear. I don't even have my koozie, but Eric does. So does John. And
And
Daniel.
And Daniel.
And Daniel. And yeah, follow us on any of the social media sites. And thanks for listening.
Thank you, everyone.
Movie Podium out.
Dankeschön.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.